And then, yes.
Good. Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
And then you move to a new spot. There you go. And then you can say yes right away. There you go. And then you can cross your arms if she starts to jump. She's like,
Good.
yeah, the girl. There you go. Ideally, the yes occurs before we hand the treat.
Okay.
So like, Sophie. Good. Sit. Yes. And then we go for the cookie. Later on in life, it's easier for us to fade from food because we just withhold the yes.
Oh, yeah.
If you're pairing them, then she's anticipating the hand all the time, and it's a little harder for her to generalize later.
That makes sense.
So one of you want to call her?
Sophie. Sophie. Yes.
You see how you really only had to do it once because she immediately turned. Immediately as she turns, you can mark it. She did it correctly.
Once, and then if she doesn't come, then you lure
Then I might go a little closer and engage in a game. Yep. There you go. Can you want to try?
Sophie.
Yes. Good girl. And the yes with recalls can occur as soon as she makes the decision. As soon as she turns.
Yes.
Yep. Yes. Good girl.
Sophie. Yes.
There you go. Good girl.
They both have turns.
Exactly.
Sit. Yes.
Good. Do you want to try to lure her into a down with one of them?
Oh, yeah.
And see if she's still unlured, but if she SITs first, a lot of times that's easier. Good. And she gets paid with that one if you said yes. But then you can do another one to lure into a down. Now remember, I wouldn't necessarily say down until she's in position.
Okay.
It's a little different training than what most people do.
Okay.
I want her in position before she hears it because you said down and she doesn't have a clue.
Yeah.
Right? She doesn't have a clue. Now she's sitting, so now take the treat in front of her nose and try to lure her back into that down position. And if she stands, then you can kind of lure her back into a sit again. But then just try to bring it to the ground.
When I say
Nope.
yes and she says,
Nope.
okay, no.
Nope. You just kind of bring her back into a down. Then say down. Yes. And see, it's tricky because it's 4 steps. So ideally it would be lured and then down and then yes.
Okay.
And then pay. I kind of want her hearing the cue
Okay.
and then the mark
Okay.
and then getting the paycheck.
Cool.
In the
Okay.
sit, she doesn't need that because she.
Correct, because it's a different concept, right? You got it. Do you want to move to a new spot? And moving to a new spot to me always makes it a little bit easier to generalize for them.
Okay.
Because then she wants to jump and we can cross our arms. Off.
Sophie, sit. Yes.
And she gets that one. Then you take another treat and then you can lure into a down. And when she gets into position, then you say down. Yes. And as time goes on, like as she gets faster, you're barely moving the treat down. Then I start to kind of tuck it behind my leg to see if she'll look at me.
Okay.
Because then if she looks up, then it's down, yes.
Yeah.
Right? But right now, just a brief lured behavior. Do you want to try with it down?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sophie down.
Now remember, yep, I want her to probably not hear down when she's sitting because she hasn't connected them yet. So just, yep, lure her into a sit. Yep, there you go.
Let's go to a different spot. Okay.
And you can just take the treat and kind of lure her into a sit, but you don't have to say anything else. I might lure her into a sit first. Yeah, she's kind of more commonly sitting before she down.